So welcome everybody. My name is Nora Rose Zinnerman. I am a branding and a website designer, and my work mostly revolves around helping people get to the core essence of the work they do, the core essence of their brand, and then from there communicate and express that on their online presence. And today I'll be talking mostly about website energetics and how to activate your online presence. There's something that really happens, we usually have a website, and then there's the interaction with clients, with potential people that come to that place, which is kind of our home in the online space. And there's also us as business owners, as the brand, that we kind of imprint our frequency on the website to then be able to kind of transmit the right frequency to the right people. So that's kind of the framework of what I'm going to be talking about today. And I'll be sharing my screen. I would love you also to ask questions. Any questions are very good. I don't like kind of booming out the information or being the television. Please do, feel free to ask all questions that come up. So with no further ado, let me share my screen. So, like I said, I am Nora Rose Zinnerman, and the work that I mostly do is designing brands and websites for transformational leaders that they're driving conscious change in the world. And it's basically people that are really working from their souls and using their gifts to serve other people. And today we're going to be talking about website energetics and how to activate your online presence. And this is a topic I really, really love, because when your online presence, when your website is aligned, it feels authentic and it feels on brand, things happen, the right connections happen, the wrong connections get repelled and they go somewhere else and they get served better by someone else. And so we also feel a kind of a relaxation about what we do, because what's out there is working for us and for the people that need our work. So your website is the online home of your business. And I know this sounds really obvious. I know this is, like the home of your business. But I think we sometimes forget that in the old days, we used to do the interactions in person. Everything was a human connection. Everything was almost, being seen and heard and having conversations in the physical realm. In the old days, I would have a client come to my studio or to wherever I worked, the agency, and they'll sit next to me. We may be looking at Pantone swatches, and we may be, taking notes. If you're a practitioner or you worked with people in person, or you still do work with people in person, you'll be welcoming people into your practice, taking notes and giving instructions, holding space for them, telling them, hey, put your coat here, now you can sit down, and now I'm going to do this. So in a way, what you are doing in the in-person interaction is what we are intending to do in the online space, in your online home. And sometimes we forget that, because we just feel that the website is this thing that we need to tell people what we do. But in actual fact, we are responsible for holding space on our website. We're responsible for the customer journey being easy, being step by step, without overwhelming them. And we can create a really good experience for the people that come to our website. So what we're doing, in essence, is we're replicating the in-person experience that very likely most of you have had in-person experiences in the thing that you do, or perhaps in other jobs that you've done before. You know, sometimes people are pivoting, you're creating a new business, or, you know, you're starting something new within the realm of what you were doing before. So what we're doing is we're welcoming and guiding visitors in the same way that you would do if you were in person. So your website is the online sanctuary of your soul business. And I'm sure I'll speak for myself, actually. I am running a soul business. I'm, you know, expressing my gift in a way that serves other people. You know, it's not something I've been told you should be doing this, you're good at this. You know, it is something that really drives me. It's a passion that I have. And if you're running a soul business, you know, your website does become an energy field of that expression. It becomes a place where you are, you know, I'm kind of leaning back a little bit. You are creating a container for people to come in and explore how they can connect with you. They can feel that pull that we were talking about before we started the recording. You know, sometimes we just feel a pull and we don't know how this happens, but there's like a synergy about what I've put on my website, the way I use specific words in my communication, the images that attracts certain people and repels other people. And that is what we want. That is exactly what we want to do with a website. And also your website is a business tool. You know, we use a website to do transactions, to create bookings, to host courses, to have a shop. You know, there's a myriad of things that we can do that it really facilitates our admin. It facilitates the process that I was saying, you know, of holding clients. So when you have a website and you see it this way, we are creating the experience of our people. The people that come to our website are going to be having an experience there. And that's what we want to be intentionally creating. So I'd love to do a very short visualization with you, if that's okay. And the invitation is to close your eyes and just really connect with yourself. And kind of going within to the inside of you. Beginning to feel into this container, which is your online home. And I'm saying the word feel, it's a felt experience. There might be an atmosphere to it. There might be some images, or there may be sound, or nothing, or words. Just really tuning into this container that is there to serve your clients, and you are creating yourself. How do you want it to feel? Just really relaxing in these. There's no kind of right or wrong. And grounding yourself in this moment. And gently opening your eyes and coming back to the call. And if you'd like to share, please unmute yourself or ask any questions.
Took me a minute to drop into myself because I have the door open and the birds are just a singing, and I kept going to the birds. But what finally landed for me is a word that has been a big part of my thing is aliveness. Is it a deep, the people seek to want to be healthy, and then, but it goes beyond that. It's an aliveness in all areas of your life. And then we're able, from that place, then we have, a rhythmic, harmonic, a way of living within our own unique natural rhythms.
Mm. Oh, that feels really, it just feels like a complete attunement to the way I would say it is to your own temple, to your own rhythm. It feels beautiful, aliveness.
Yeah. Well, and so my whole thing that I help people with is to reset and attune their circadian and quantum biology. Yeah. So, but I want to take it to a deeper spiritual beyond the science.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And that's the integration, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Very good. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Nora.
Anyone else?
I had a feeling of spaciousness, and also, funnily, bird songs came up, and images of nature. But what I think I really want to connect with is, and I'm not sure how that will pan out really, but it's connection to the body and the empowerment of women when they give birth. And I don't know what that looks like, but that's what I work with. And
Yes, I read on your form. Beautiful. Yeah, and this is kind of just a tiny sample of how I work and how, you can really begin to tune into this felt experience of how do I want my people to feel when they land on this container that I'm creating. Aside from what I need to say, the marketing, one headline, all of that is very kind of formulaic in a way, but there's also these kind of deeper layer that you can really connect with and then just kind of grab it and bring it to the surface to express the lower, profound sense of what you really do. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Thank you, Colette.
Thank you.
Any more?
Yes, I'd like just to comment and add to what's already been shared. The feeling of what I sense from your sharing. And I love the comparison of the modern day office space. I just think you've got a brilliant, I don't know if brilliant's the right word, but I just really appreciate your understanding of the purpose behind having a website.
Yes. Yes.
And just to be able to express ourselves through through the construction, through the creativity, through the creative piece of it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen again. So this is where we were. And so your website is a portal into your world. And I love this, you can just imagine, people having a little peek into your world, because it really is just a small portion of your life. It can be, your work can be your life, but the website doesn't reflect the full breadth of it. And sometimes what happens is, for most visitors, your website may be the very first point of contact with you, with your business, with your brand. And so it's important to kind of consider what you do there. And I like to always use this analogy of a shop window. I'm one of those people that they go out for a walk, and if there's something on a shop window that draws me in, I will go in, even if I'm not looking for anything. And if we reverse engineer that little bit, what happened there in that moment, where I feel drawn to go in, even though I'm not looking for anything particular, is the shop owner has created that shop window intentionally. They've infused it with their own services, their own gift, their own products in a way that was meant to connect with me and not with other people. So it's really important that you position yourself in the side of creating the experience. You are the shop owner, you are creating the shop window in this case. So your website works on 3 levels. There's the energetic connection with the visitors, which is what we talked about quite a bit already. It's also a container for your gifts and your teachings, and also it's very much a practical support for your business. And I'm going to go into these 3 a little bit more. So the energetic connection is basically imagining what happens when someone lands on your website. And if you can put yourself in their shoes and imagine what they're feeling, what brings them here to this particular website. And we tend to kind of confuse these with the need, right? So people might have, in my case, people might have a need for a website, yeah? But what I'm asking you to tune in here is to how they're feeling. So in my case, people can be in different places. So if they don't have a website, they might be feeling confused. They might be feeling like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do this. Do I find a developer? Do I do it myself? All those kind of confusion style questions that someone that doesn't have a website may have. They may also be at a place where they feel a bit icky about what they have. They have a website, perhaps, it's become dated, they've moved forward and they are, visioning something and they want to move to that vision, and the new website is going to give them the next version of themselves almost. And this moment here feels either a little bit bothersome, icky, or they have a lot of momentum. They are like, I'm ready now. I'm ready to move forward. I'm full with these new teachings. Please do me a website tomorrow, now, kind of thing. So all those feelings is something that I've learned to tune into as time's gone by, and realizing, yes, they are buying a website, but also those emotions are happening to them, and how I talk to those emotions is really what brings people in. And this is something you can do with your work. And so with that in mind, then you begin to feel into what is the atmosphere I want to create in this website for these people that are feeling either in pain or confused, or they need guidance, or they're looking for aliveness. What is the atmosphere I want to create for them to feel a kind of relaxation about that thing that's moving them to come here? Is this making sense so far? Just give me some thumbs up. Thank you. So a structured container, the website can be as well. And many creative entrepreneurs really, really, really need a place where to land their ideas, to land their teachings. They've got, you know, all sorts of offerings, musings and downloads. And what happens is when a website is very well designed, is very well structured, it has systems behind the scenes. It's very easy for a business owner to go and offer a new service, to go and create a new page, to go and do things because the website is tidy, the website has systems. And also what it does to the outside world, to the customer can find the way easily. You probably have been in many websites. I have been myself, definitely, websites that I get a little stuck. I don't know how I got there. I can't find my way back. Sometimes I even want to buy something and I can't even buy it because, you know, the website is kind of, the journey has got a little bit contorted and blocked. Yeah, there's some dead ends sometimes. So it's really important to know that this needs to be curated, the step by step of what happens for your customers inside their journey. And then also it's a very practical support, you know, it's a support, it's a sales tool, you know, you can perform purchases, sales, you know, all sorts of things. People can find resources on your website that they are healing in themselves, you know, without having to sell anything. It magnetizes the right customers. It pre-qualifies people. And with this, I'm referring to those kind of conversations that we sometimes need to have with people to see if we are a good match. I'm just going to stop sharing. You know, we're trying to see if this person is a good match for me. Can I work with this person? Do they want to work with me? And sometimes what a website does is it pre-qualifies people. You know, the conversation gets a little bit shorter because, for example, in my case, prospective clients already saw my portfolio. They already read some testimonials. They already have a feeling, a sense of how I work. So when they come and talk to me, and that clarity call that I offer, which is my time, yeah, it's my time given to some prospective clients. There's a lot of things that we don't need to discuss because all of that has been covered. You know, the ground has been covered. I have a therapist that since she has the website, she reduced the number of initial calls enormously because people, she says, I don't have to qualify people. They qualify themselves. They just qualify themselves. They come and email me or fill in the form and they buy the sessions. She said, I don't have to qualify them. They've already qualified themselves. And this is something really important. If the website is properly expressing what you do, people get a vibe, basically. And also it guides people to your sales funnels, if you happen to have sales funnels, which are a series of steps for people to join your mailing list, to, you know, listen to a webinar, etc., etc. So, is everything clear so far? Excellent. So we've seen so far what happens, you know, with your potential customers, the experience that they may be wanting to have, and how you can really have a website that you nurture. You know, it's not this thing out there, I've done it and it's done and dusted now. You know, it's this thing that one kind of infuses with your own frequency so that people feel that they are being connected with you, so that you are looking after it really. And so you are intentionally creating the photos, intentionally creating the words, intentionally creating the flow of it so it feels easy to go to that website. Whether it's for me or not is another matter. And now what I want to be talking about a little bit is more the other side, you know, you as a business owner and a practitioner, how you can imprint your frequency and activate that on your website. So it's like the other side. We've got the customers here and the website here in the middle, and then we've got you as a frequency imprinting that onto the website. And this is a really important topic. We tend to forget, we tend to stay on the surface and go like, take the lovely photos, do the, you know, the setting, how do I want the furniture? What kind of font do I want on my website? Oh, I want this color palette. But we really forget that actually, as a business owner, and if you are running a sole business, you've got a gift. You've been put on this earth to offer that gift. And as such, you are the frequency holder of the work you do. You hold the frequency. So that frequency needs to be embodied somehow. And this is the work I love doing, which is called Embodying Your Brand. And I even created a course. I used to do it only with my clients, but now, you know, a couple of years ago, with the help of Danny, I created my course, and it's been foundational for both my clients, for people that just want to do the work themselves. It's the way to really understand the deeper layers of how can I express my brand in a way that feels genuine, in a way that feels authentic, and it's aligned to the soul work that I do. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. And this is kind of not a very practical topic. It feels a little bit less, you know, less tangible. So do ask any questions you may have. So this is what I was saying, you know, we're going to talk about how to imprint your frequency on your online presence. And I call it embodying your brand. So you, as the business owner, you hold the keys within, you know, and for a conscious business, your brand identity frequency starts within. It really isn't just, you know, the beautiful images, a matching color palette, or a great legible font. It really is a lot more than that. It's this deep work that I was talking about, when we really get to express and find the core messaging, find the words that express what we want to be saying, and for people to connect with that frequency. And it takes a little courage to do this. It takes a little bit of taking my seat to really own up to that frequency, to really go, yeah, this is the frequency of the work I do. And as an example, you know, I used to be what you would call a regular designer. You know, I would get the brief from the client and I will do the work that they've asked me to do, use my creativity, my marketing knowledge, my advertising skills, you know, whatever skills I have and knowledge and experience to respond to the brief as best I could. But with time, I began to kind of merge some of my personal spiritual path and some of my own practices into the work I was doing with clients. And then I realized, oh my God, we're going somewhere else. This is like completely different results. I mean, my intention was to have good words, good images, and, you know, good everything. So I can design a good website, basically. And because I wasn't getting any of that to the level that I was expecting, then I began to create my own method. It was a little bit out of necessity. But then when I began to apply some of the more spiritual practices with the clients, we began to get amazing results. And other designers were asking me, how do you get them to do those photos? They're complete amateurs, beginners, and they're doing amazing photos. How do you do that? So I began to kind of put the methodology together. And what I'd like you to do now is, I'll invite you again to do another meditation. This is a little different, if you would like to join me. So the invitation is to close your eyes. And just settle wherever you're sitting. And really bring presence to yourself in this moment. And you may want to place a hand on your belly or on your heart. If you want to just bring presence, physical presence. And gently going inside. It's almost like the movement is away from the head towards the body. Just resting in this moment. Resting your body. And I'd like you to tune into the work that you do when you're doing it. Maybe interacting with clients and it feels really, really easy. You're offering your service, you're offering your work, and it feels delightful. And you are in the flow, they are in the flow. And it just feels like a joy to do this. This is a frequency that you can tune into at any time. And it might just be a very subtle frequency. It may be just a little spark. Or it may be a big, powerful movement within you. I'd like you to really welcome it inside of you. Just staying with it. Almost like expanding your inner space for it to take space, this frequency. And resting and relaxing in yourself and rooting yourself. Very gently opening your eyes and coming back to the core. If you would like to share, please unmute yourself.
I just spent a lot of peace with the world, and yeah, I could see myself at times in my work when there isn't a lot happening, but everything is very so connected,
Mm.
you know, so really quite deep with people.
Mm.
Um,
Mm. Yeah.
whether I'm doing a massage or whether I'm there with them during the birth.
Yes.
And there are times when there's no need to speak, but the connection is really strong and deep.
Yes. 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 In your particular work, patience and this kind of staying in the unknown is one of the things that you hold, because it's like you never know what the next moment will bring. is so unpredictable in a way, and so
Yes, so you really have to be in the present, really.
yeah, that's kind of the quality that I'm picking up, you know, in you and the work you offer. This capacity to stay still and strong whilst we go through the unknown. Thank you.
What I was feeling was expansiveness, fluidity, because everything I do is through the body. Like, we're so taught to be fluent in so many different things, but we're never taught to be fluent in the language that our body speaks to us. And so whenever I work with people, it is always through the body, because the body is the tool that's interfaced with our spirit. So for me, it's all about helping people move freely. That's unique to their own rhythms. So I felt expansiveness. And sometimes, like, people will say, Chris, what did you just say? And I'll be like, I don't know. Like, because I'm just like, it's coming through me. Whatever is needed for them in that moment. And that's why it's really important to be present and allow the body and the voice to come through me, and not, because I still will catch myself trying to like be the one that creates their change instead of allowing the come through what they need, not what it is that I need in that moment. So it's attuning to, I don't know, that one word always comes back to me is aliveness. Like, I'm in the flow.
Wonderful. Thank you. It sounds really simple, and that's where we want to stay as well. It's not complicated. It's really simple.
It really is.
Very good. Thanks. Any questions? Thanks, Edward. Questions, comments? Shall I move on? Good. I'll share my screen. So we were here, and we go now to a little bit more like the other side of the brain. And you know, the word brand has been used quite liberally in the last few years. When I became a graphic designer, the word brand wasn't really used. Branding, we used to say things like corporate identity or logos or things like that. And it wasn't kind of so encompassing because we didn't have so many mediums to express these. It was more on print or, you know, 3D situations like shops. But nowadays, you know, it's kind of used on many ways to express, you know, that thing that you do, your business. So I've just put here a few words together for you to kind of get a little feel of all these layers that go on, and just to connect to the layers. You know, this is not an exhaustive list. You know, there's probably fairly more things. But we've got, you know, obviously the identity, you know, we've got the experience that we're creating, which is something we spoke quite a bit today. The emotions that we evoke in people. Like, for example, we want people to feel that it's really simple to, you know, feel alive. We want people to feel relaxed, that they're going to be held in this unknown process. Or, you know, I want people to feel that I've got them. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. It's what emotions, what feelings do I want to evoke in people? It's also the values that I stand for. And that really connects you with the type of people you want to work with. You know, I want to work with conscious people. That's kind of my thing, really. Conscious people creating change, because, you know, when they talk to another 10, 100,000 people, you know, my work serves all those people as well. And then there's the look and feel, which is what we tend to fall on. But, you know, it's just one of the layers, the look and feel, which would be the color palette and the photos and the looking good and the typeface being legible, for example. And then to have brand clarity is a way of becoming crystal clear and relaxed about communicating that thing that you do. And so you can root all your communications in one overarching clear foundation. You also get discernment when you have brand clarity. You know what your brand is, what your brand is not. You can decide really easily, no, that doesn't feel like my brand once you've got that brand clarity. You can explain with ease the essence of what you do as well. And you can look at other websites and go, oh, that website feels good to me, even if it is in a completely different industry. You know, you can look and think, oh, that's a feeling I want to have on my website. Yeah, you begin to have a little bit more clarity about your brand, and then you can go and analyze other websites. You can also include a little bit of your why and your story. And then you begin to align these kind of inner vision that we have sometimes, you know, bubbling inside with the outer vision, with the outer translation, how we translate it. And of course, we learn to activate the soul brand within, which is, you know, the embodying your brand piece that I was talking about. So when you have clarity and embodiment, you are holding the vibration of the work that you offer. And when you have these two pieces, everything becomes really easy. It becomes crystal clear for the sake of repetition. It becomes discerning. It becomes, I can lean back. I know what I need to say. I know what I need to not say, or I don't want to say this because that doesn't feel like my brand. And also it's knowing how to embody your brand to then translate it correctly when you go and put social media posts, when you write emails, you know, is the tone of voice of your brand that becomes also aligned with everything else that you've been doing. Is this making sense? Lovely. So there's three energies at play. And this is what I was saying at the very beginning. We've got the client, you know, with their needs, with their emotions and all the things that are happening to them. They tend to come to a website, you know, looking for something. Yes, they're checking us out, but their stuff is obviously their priority. Then we've got the website, which is the duplicate of me. I like to see it as that. I like to see my website as working hard for me. It does a lot of legwork. It really qualifies people. It tells them a lot of things about them. And so I like my website to be in a good state. I like to nurture it every so often, even if I go there and I'm like, oh my God, that's old. I shouldn't have that there anymore. You know, sometimes that happens, we forget. But going regularly to my website kind of also reminds me of my vision. It reminds me of what I'm here to do, because those words, I wrote them, those images, I curated them, you know, with all my heart, with all my passion. And sometimes, you know, there's moments when one feels a little bit like off track. You know, where's my frequency? I lost it. I kind of lost myself. Right, going to your website is a sure way of aligning yourself back on track. It just gives you that sense of like, it holds you to task. My website's here and I'm like moving there. And that's where I'm going. Thank you very much. And then obviously you as the business owner, you know, you need to do probably lots of jobs, you know, admin and creating that website and working with the client and all of that. So as a business owner, you are kind of responsibly switching between being a practitioner and being a business owner. And those are the roles as well that we sometimes get collapsed, you know, but they're two different roles. So if you want to start your brand clarity journey, I've got my course, which is called Embodying Your Brand. and it's 1 hour long. The videos are 10 minutes, 6 minutes. It's super, super easy to do. It has questionnaires with questions that go really deep, and it also has some meditations and visualizations, just like we did today. And I'm offering a little 30% discount, a little code here, which is called Sale Now. And I'm going to put this in the chat. If you would like to, if I can find the chat, that is. Yes. If you would like to purchase the course, that is the coupon code Sale Now, and that's the link to the courses. There's 2 courses. One is Embodying Your Brand, and the other one is Plan and Create Your Brand Photoshoot. And this one is a lot more practical. It's a lot more step by step how to apply embodying your brand onto planning the photo shoot, and all the ideas and all the steps you need to follow to go to a photo shoot where you know how you're going to express your brand. You know, you feel confident, you know what you're doing. Aside from looking good, aside from what the photographer says, that they can guide you. There's an energy of embodiment that you can only create yourself. And this is the other offering, very close to my heart. Boom, I have created my website. This is lovely. If you haven't got a website, you want a cost-effective option, it's a 7-week group journey, and you get the courses, you get Embodying Your Brand, you get Plan and Create Your Photo Shoot, you get the wording planner with all my questions to really write good website copy. And then I design your website on top of that. So it's an absolutely amazing offer. And it's only 1123 in sterling pound. I live in England. And it's approximately 1400 US dollars. So if you're interested in this, yeah, I think it takes me to the website. It's an active link, but I'll put it on the chat. Here we go. And there's other ways to work with me. This is for those that perhaps don't have a website, or you're kind of starting again and you want to, you know, have a group journey and come together and work with me. I'm really pleased that you've been here. I'm going to now offer a little mini website review. If anyone wants to do it, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want your website review, tell me where you're at. Interactive.
Yeah, I don't even have one yet. But I do have a question for you. On the websites, when we're talking about bringing in our essence, and that's what imprints to attract. And I love the part of that frequency will repel the ones, because we're not designed to help everybody, to repel that. But how, and I'm probably going up in my logical mind, but how do you, like somebody comes to me usually for some chronic pain. But in my deeper aspect of my true, that what I love to do is help people really begin to have a deeper relationship with themselves, understand their own language is more that spiritual. Do you just tie both of those in? Like, do you have where you're talking about the chronic pain? Because, you know, I do the myofascial work and the circadian rhythm and everything. Do you bring, like, so I have many different things that I do. How do you infuse all that in there without confusing people?
Yeah, very good. So one thing is the skills and the techniques, but another thing is the essence of your work. Yeah. So I have skills to do email marketing, and you know, I can design graphics for stands and for exhibitions. I have done tons of packaging, you know, but I don't lead with any of that. I lead with getting to your core essence and having a website truly reflect you. That's what I lead with.
So
And
that's
then
what,
when people come, they can feel into all the other offerings, but there's something that really moves you to lead with, and it can change as well.
yeah. See, that explains why when I keep leading with the chronic pain, the people that show up for me don't fully fulfill me because they're wanting to just focus on the physical body, where I'm wanting to go much deeper because
Yeah.
I'm leading with the wrong energy.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, good. Any more?
Yes, on the course, how much support can you give to people individually?
If you purchase the course on its own, is that what you're asking? If you purchase the course on its own, it's self-study.
Okay,
You can obviously email me for
Yeah.
questions, or you can also book the business alignment sessions, which are an hour of time together where you actually process things. You can share the Google Docs with me and I can give you feedback through the session. You know, the business alignment session is an hour, it's really powerful.
Mhm.
You can use it for anything you like. So, you know, it doesn't need to be just conversation. It can just be tweaks to things that you've already thought about.
Okay, great, thanks. Mhm.
You're welcome. Any more? Good. And so no one wants a mini website review.
If I had one, I would.
Yeah. The part of the mini website reviews is really interesting because I'll just go briefly into these. It's a way of everybody learning to analyze other people's websites. So I open the website on these classes. Typically, everybody chimes in what they see. You know, they've seen the person here in the class. They got to know them a tiny little bit and they got a first impression. And then they can all say, oh, yeah, the website looks like that person, or, but in the call, this person looks really alive and really bubbly. And then the website feels a bit flat, right? So those are the things that you need to begin to look out for, you know, when you're looking at websites or when you are, you know, doing your own critique. It's important that, you know, you tune into your energy. Yeah. I'm fairly lively, but I'm so very leaning back. So, you know, I wanted my website to feel really spacious. And then I'm like beaming my smile. Yeah. It's all very intentional. It's not like I just sit there pretty. And I wanted all my wrinkles to show as well, because I wanted it to be the person that I am. Yeah. If I show like these kind of whatever, and then someone turns up, you know, and I'm in my, you know, what, looking normal in the regular call once we start doing a website together, there's a mismatch. Yeah. We don't want the mismatch to happen. Equally, we want to show our best selves. So it's a medium place where you're showing your best self. You're curating the experience that people are going to have of you, but it still feels fairly aligned, fairly authentic, and on brand. Right, with that, I'm going to leave the call. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure to talk to all of you and to get to know you.
Thank you, Nora.
Thanks a lot. Mhm.
You're very welcome. Feel free to email me with any questions you may have.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.